Let's get started. Today we will discuss about locomotion and movement, and in this topic we will try to discuss about the locomotory aspect of a human individual, and also how it is different from a movement, and what are the aspects which we need to understand in order to cover this topic like locomotion and movement. So, as such, every living individual, every living organism requires a kind of movement, and this movement is sometimes consists of a partial displacement of an individual or organism, or a complete transfer of the whole body from one location to other location. Now, if we see movement as such, now this movement is a very specific terminology which is used for any kind of movement. Now, we are moving our hand also, that is also a movement. We are moving our jaws, that is also a movement. We have our blinking of eyes, that is also a movement. So, eyelid movement is also, we call it a movement. Now, we have another kind of aspect in the movement, that our tongue is also having some movement. So, the movement stands for anything that is having some sort of motion attached to it. So, that is a specific aspect of movement. Now, if that movement is responsible for changing the location, then we call it locomotion. So, any movement that is responsible for changing the location of or changing the location of the individual, then we call it locomotion. Now, if we start looking into that, what is the actual aspect locomotion in human body? So, what we are doing, we have feet, we have our leg. So, if we are standing, there is no locomotion, but we are doing some movement with the hand. But once we will start walking, we have changed the position from one location to another location, then we called it locomotion. So, can we rephrase a sentence as shown in the slide, that all locomotion are movements, but all movements are not locomotion. That means, each and every locomotion is involving some sort of movements, but all movements, as I said, the hand is not showing any kind of a displacement. So, we cannot call that one as a locomotion. That movement of the tongue, jaws, or any kind of other movements which are taking place inside the body, we do not call it as a locomotion. So, there is a clear-cut differentiation between locomotion and movement. Now, having said that, we try to understand what are the specific kind of movement or locomotory features available in lower invertebrates, as well as some of the other organism. Now, if we start looking as what we discussed in the last time in our respiratory system lecture also, that we have a coelenterata, and one coelenterate example is hydra. Now, if we start looking into what is happening in hydra, if we draw, suppose this is a hydra which is having a mouth, and then we have something called tentacles. So, we called it tentacles, and these tentacles are on the top, and then we have this basal disc. Now, this basal disc or the bottom is in the substratum. So, this is kind of land, we call it land or the attachment substratum. Now, this hydra is a cylindrical body, it is an irregular shape. Now, there are various kind of possibilities that this particular organism can start locomoting itself. Now, what is happening? Now, this tentacle is as such an organ which is responsible for doing movement. Now, these tentacles, if we start looking what is happening, so there is a possibility that this will roll down in the bottom. So, what will happen? This hydra will kind of attain this shape, and then this basal disc will little bit drag towards the tentacle, and then this tentacle dragging will cause this one movement of the basal disc from this to this location. So, basically what will happen, the location will be like this. So, then what is happening, there is a complete kind of a twisting of the stuff, and then suddenly they will have an erect location. Now, what is happening, this kind of a phenomena where the tentacle is coming and doing some sort of a movement, involved in the movement, is called looping. Now, looping is one such phenomena in hydra where the tentacles are involved in moving the whole body by doing some sort of a movement. Now, since there is a change, then that's why we are calling it locomotion. Now, this is one aspect, looping. Second, there is a possibility that this hydra will start kind of movement where this whole body will twist, and then this will erect in this one, and then again this will fall down. So, the movement will be like this. So, what is happening, this is kind of a twisting and then again erecting, then again twisting. So, this is not looping, right. This phenomena is called somersaulting. Somersaulting. Now, this somersaulting is another phenomena where the hydra is moving in substratum with the help of tentacles. Now, this tentacles is very important in movement of this hydra. So, what we are trying to emphasize that there are various kind of activities which an organism can do, and because of these activities in the substratum, the hydra is moving its body from one location to another location. These are the typical example of invertebrates.